What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the full Pristine review for the LG V40. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like the LG V40 was the best smartphone that was released in 2018. If you saw my top 3 phones of 2018, you saw that the LG V40 was number 1 on my list. I felt like the LG V40 topped the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 when I did my comparison video. Yeah, it's just a monster of a device. I mean, LG, they completely went all out. They went balls out on this one with the V40. And I just hope that the recognition that I feel they deserve, they finally start to get, because it seems like a lot of people in 2018 really enjoyed the V40 and spoke very highly of it when, speaking of it in conversations with other smartphone manufacturers that also have some top-notch phones. I've felt for a long time that LG is right up there in that conversation, but that's just my personal opinion. And yeah, I think they finally hit it home with the V40 here. So this is my full Pristine review. Let's dive right into this. Now, first off, I want to talk about the price and the specs. Now, this phone, price differs, from carrier to carrier, which I think is interesting, because it's like, okay, the same phone is being sold carrier wide, but I know that Verizon seems to have one of the most expensive full retail prices for the LG V40. It was sitting at $980 if I remember correctly. And fortunately for me, I was able to, on Black Friday, take advantage of a deal where you got $400 off. So rather than paying $980, I was only able to pay $580, which is a steal. And it wasn't one of those things where you can just walk in the store on Black Friday and say, hey, give me a V40, and you only pay $540 or $580 rather. It's one of those things where you have to set up installment payments, and basically, when you're done paying off the phone, due to the bill credits that Verizon applies to the account for the V40, when it's all said and done, rather than paying $980, you would have paid $580. And so that's currently what I'm doing with the V40. I know that Unlock, this phone, has been sold for $799. I've seen it for as low as $649.99 on sale. But I think the full retail price for the LG V40 fully unlocked is $799, so $800 there. I know that T-Mobile was selling it, if I remember correctly, their full retail price was $720. And I think that Sprint and AT&T was a little bit closer to what Verizon was selling it for at the $980. Could be a little less, or it could just be the exact same. So interesting how, across the different carriers, I mean, this phone has been sold for different prices. Verizon definitely being one of the most expensive prices out there. Now, living in a day and age where smartphones are getting more and more expensive, getting closer to that $1,000 price tag, I feel that this phone has to be the device, in my personal opinion, that seems to be worth every penny. Now, I mean, if you can get this phone at a deal, I mean, I would never discourage that. If you can save money on the V40, by all means, absolutely do that. But I feel like if there is a phone that you're going to spend $1,000 for and feel good about it, I'm not talking about spend $1,000 and then afterwards you got buyer's remorse, so you're just like, damn, what did I just do? And you're kind of scratching your head questioning whether or not you should have did it, and then it causes you to look at the phone a little bit differently. You know what I mean? No, I feel like just right off the bat, when you turn on the V40 and you set it up and you start navigating it and playing with it and just figuring out all of its features and functionalities, you soon realize that, damn, I understand this phone had a premium price tag associated with it, but it was worth it. I just really get that feel from the LG V40. There's been other devices that I've spent that type of money on, and I was just like, this ain't quite this particular experience ain't $1,000 experience. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there at this point. The manufacturers are happy because they got your money, which is the ultimate goal. But nonetheless, I mean, price, you can find it at a deal. but expect to pay that premium price because this is one of the best premium phones of 2018. Now the specifications, we got the Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 gigs of RAM. This is LG's first device to tote 6 gigs of RAM. A lot of their other high-end premium flagship devices have all had 4 gigabytes of RAM, and a lot of people had things to say about that. Considering that most of the other flagship devices have fully converted over to 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, if not more. Well, now LG is finally a part of that conversation. 6 gigs of RAM, and it shows. I mean, this thing is just buttery smooth. I mean, it flies through navigating with pretty much any and everything that you're doing. I mean, you can try to get this phone to stutter if you want to, and you are not going to be successful. I mean, this phone is just lightning quick. But yeah, Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded up to 2 terabytes. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. I mean, IP68 water dust resistant. I mean, the phone supports wireless charging and all that. 5 cameras on this device, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first phone to tout 5 cameras, 5 useful cameras, not just throwing 5 cameras on the phone just to say, hey, look at us, we're the first phone to have 5 cameras, but then the cameras are just completely useless. No, there is a significant amount of usage with every single camera lens that is on the LG V40. Okay, so we've got all the top end specs that are going to give you that killer premium performance that you're looking for. Gaming on this device, breeze. It doesn't matter what you throw at it. Some of the most graphically intense games that you can imagine. PUBG, go for it. Fortnite, go for it. I mean, I'm not a mobile gamer. I'm not a mobile gamer. I'm a console guy. I'm a PlayStation 4 Pro guy. So I just don't play games on my phones, you know what I mean? But I've seen plenty of footage of other people gaming on their LG V40, and they have had absolutely no problems whatsoever. Every piece of footage that I've seen has all been a buttery smooth experience when it comes to gaming, and everything else for that matter. Whether it's web browsing, scrolling through apps, opening applications, the RAM management is awesome. I don't have a bunch of stuff open right now, but I mean, just navigating through, just a bunch of applications being open at the same time, it does not hinder the performance at all whatsoever. And the phone never has to reload the apps that you have open. If you're sifting through a lot of your open apps, all you got to do is just tap on it, and just like that, it takes you right back to that application. I love just how speedy the LG V40 is, and just how fluid it is. I mean, the fluidity, it's just, yeah. It's on point. I mean, so killer 2018 specifications for the device. Performance, I mean, as I just touched on that, performance, I mean, because of those specs that I just named off, you are getting excellent top-notch performance on the LG V40, and nothing short of that. Nothing short of that. I feel like LG has finally gotten over this issue that they were having with devices boot looping, and just leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And it's interesting because I know that mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not receiving no checks from none of these companies. All I do is I buy these phones with my own money. The ultimate goal is to get manufacturer sponsorship so that I can, get some phones sent in to me for review. But every phone that you see here on my channel is bought with my hard-earned money. Okay, and like I said, I mean, some of the phones are worth it, some of them are not, but like I said, I feel like the LG V40 here is definitely worth it. The performance on this phone, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, it is worth every penny of money that I'm spending for this device. Now, I'm glad that I was able to take advantage of getting $400 off, because that's all. I mean, if you can get a V40, at $400 off, by all means, do it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Let me put emphasis on that. Do it. You know what I'm saying? My old school Godfather Pizza commercial voice. Do it. Yeah. But just performance. Lightning quick, buttery smooth, RAM management is on par, opening applications is just an absolute breeze, sifting through Google now, as you see, is just an absolute breeze. Bible app, Spotify, Take me there. Take me there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huge files. SoundCloud. Take me there. Just like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, what? You guys want to go shopping? Let's go to Best Buy. Okay. Yeah. Best Buy. Let's go to Amazon. Yeah. Just like that. Oh, you guys want to... Oh, you... Gear Best? Okay. Yeah, let's do Gear Best. Boom. Okay. You haven't signed in there. AliExpress. Okay. Just like that. Okay. RAM management. Where we at? Spotify. Take me there. Okay. Nope, didn't mean to do a screenshot there. But SoundCloud, take me to SoundCloud. Take me back to Best Buy. Let's go shopping. Take me back to the Bible. You guys get the point. Yeah. RAM management on this device is just absolutely amazing, and you see how lightning quick I'm just sifting through things on this phone. I mean, so you know, build quality, like I said, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. This is the black color of the LG V40. You guys already know, all black everything, no racist. Yeah, beautiful construction. You know, like I said, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. This phone will break if you drop it, so definitely protect your investment. I got a little TPU rubber clear case on here, just so I always get clear cases just because I want to show off the phone's cosmetics. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of these phones are beautifully constructed, beautiful color combinations and whatnot, and you know, it's like, why put a case on it that has coloring or anything that's going to hide the sheer beauty of the device? You know what I mean? And so, you know, I'm an advocate for the device, you know, and so I just like it, you know, to be, you know, visible. And you know, I think one of the main things that catches people, you know, is the way the cameras look. You know what I mean? It just kind of, you know, there's 3 cameras there, then the fingerprint sensor right underneath it, which by the way is perfectly placed, by the way, so I'm not complaining about that, but I'm just saying, you know, that camera implementation, you know, it looks different. It's a little bit of a different look. But nonetheless, those cameras are absolutely amazing. And speaking of the cameras, like I just said, they're amazing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to speak too much on the cameras right now because there is a dedicated camera video that I've done, so check that out. I'll put the link in the description so you don't have to go searching for it. You click on that link and it's going to take you right there. And then get in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about the camera on the LG V40. Now, like I said, we do have 5 cameras on this device, okay? We've got 3 on the back, 2 in the front. Now on the rear, we've got a primary 12 megapixel sensor, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Okay? On the front, we've got an 8 megapixel primary and a 5 megapixel wide angle sensor. Okay? Those wide angle lenses, ladies and gentlemen, they work wonders. I mean, you're talking about really being able to get a lot of subjects in one shot, or if you're just somewhere beautiful and you want to capture the landscape, and just that wide angle lens is just able to capture so much, whether you're taking photos with the rear primary camera or if you're taking selfies, it doesn't matter. You know, that wide angle lens it's done right, and LG was the first ones to initiate it, to originate it. We see a lot of copycats, we see a lot of carbon copies out there with this technology, but none of it it all pales in comparison to LG's iteration of the wide angle lens, and rightfully so. They were the originators of it. Okay, I have yet to find a device that had the wide angle lens capability that does it better than LG. Okay, so if you want true wide angle capabilities with lenses on a smartphone, then the V40 is here, the LG G7 is here, the LG V30, the LG G6, all these phones, you know, have that wide angle capability, you know what I mean? And I just named off some of the older model devices because if you're not the type of person that has to have the latest and the greatest, those were all great phones as well that I just named off. I'm a huge fan of LG products. Those were all great devices, but they had some really good cameras, wide angle lens on the front and the back, But if you want the best of the best, the king of the crop, the V40 is the one that you definitely want to go with at this particular moment. Now, battery life. Battery life, we have a 3,300 milliamp hour non-removable battery. Okay? I've had absolutely no problems at all getting through a full day with this battery. Now, I understand, we see a lot of phones that are having, 38 to 4,000 milliamp hour batteries. Some phones have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, and I feel like those are more geared towards a lot of the mid-range and budget devices. It'd be nice to see a flagship with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. But for now, 4 does me just fine. 3,300 milliamps on the V40 here does me just fine. I'm a moderate, I'm a light to moderate user, which means that I don't need to keep a charger handy. I don't need to keep a juice pack handy. I don't need to, be somewhere where there is wireless chargers all over the place for me to set my phone down, to top me up. I get excellent battery life out of my device. And so, again, with the exception of really putting the phone through its paces to try to kill the battery as quickly as possible, just to see the battery staying power shortly after I get a phone in my testing phases. Aside from that, I just use it how I normally use a phone. I talk, I text. I may do a little bit of web browsing. If I'm at work, I may, on my lunch break, I may queue up some YouTube videos or whatnot, peep out some videos. I'm subscribed to a lot of people that are doing these reviews, watching keynote presentations, gaming channels, getting some footage on some games, watching some football stuff, watching knockouts, all kind of stuff. And I'm still able to get really, really, really good battery life. And so your screen on time and all that stuff, that's going to differ based on how you use your device. I know a lot of other people they go hard on their device way heavier than I do. I mean, some people are heavy duty, downloaders and watching YouTube movies or Netflix movies, Hulu, ESPN, you name it, whatever you can do. Hardcore gaming, some of the most graphically intense games, they're doing all that. And so, yeah, if you're doing all those things, then trust and believe you're gonna run through your battery, quicker than one would based on how I use my device. You know what I mean? But there is several battery optimization options. Be mindful that when you do opt to select any of those, make sure you read the fine print, because every time you optimize the battery, there's going to be something that you're going to do without. It's interesting how people don't quite understand this. And they're like, oh, well, I optimized the battery, but I can't do this, or I can't do that, or my screen's on a grayscale, or I'm not able to web browse, or I can't go here, or I can't go there. And it's like, okay, well, if you read the fine print, it specifically tells you if you choose this option, your battery life sustainability is going to increase to this particular percentage for this amount of days or this amount of time, but you're not going to be able to access these applications, or you're not going to be able to access these particular features, or we're going to, turn off, you're not going to be able to access GPS or Bluetooth or just, something. I mean, it always, it has to compensate somewhere to allow you that additional battery staying power. And so one of the ways that I optimize my battery is just making sure that things that I'm not using, turn those things off. What am I talking about? Wi-Fi. If you're not using Wi-Fi, turn Wi-Fi off. If you're not using Bluetooth, turn Bluetooth off. If you don't need to be notified about your 7 email addresses, every time you get an email, getting those push notifications, you're getting notified every 2 seconds. If you don't need that, turn that off. If you don't need GPS on, turn that off. I mean, there's so many people that complain about their battery, and they know that I'm a reviewer, so a lot of people ask me about phones and issues that they're having with their phone, and a lot of it is battery sustainability. And I'll go through their phone, I'll swipe down on the top to look at their settings, and this whole top row, they got everything on. They got Bluetooth on, Wi-Fi on, location on, auto sync on. They got all this stuff on, and it's not even like they're using those services at those particular moments, and it fries your battery because, especially Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, it's always looking for something to connect to if you're not connected to anything, but yet you have that option on. So trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you, if you turn off auto sync, if you turn off your GPS when you're not using it, turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi if you're not using it, you will notice a substantial amount of battery sustainability. Okay, so it's just creating good habits. But yeah, so for me personally, battery life has not been a problem at all whatsoever. Now, additional features, I mean, I'll be here all night talking about it because the LG V40 is loaded. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that the phone is IP68 water and dust resistance. We do have facial recognition that is lightning quick. We do have a fingerprint sensor right there on the back that is perfectly placed. We do have the double tap to sleep and the double tap to wake. And there is the demonstration of the facial recognition. Let's see if I can capture that again because the camera's in front of my face. Boom, just like that. You guys saw that. You saw how when we lock the device, we've got always on display. And I love LG's iteration of always on display just because you can kind of toggle things, and you can change it on the Samsung devices as well. But I just like the different layouts that you have on the LG V40 here. Just, you know, you got your time, your date, your notifications, your battery percentage is listed right there. I mean, you literally, all you have to do is just glance over at your phone and, you know, hey, you got some notifications, boom, you can see that. If you just want to look at the time, the date, or your battery percentage, you can just see that. You know what I mean? I like that. Now, here's one thing that I rarely ever find that's talked about the LG V40, and a lot of people don't realize this, but I know that LG heavily advertises the boombox speaker and the liquid cooling system in the device. So it does have a liquid cooling system so that anything that will cause your device to run hot, you know, gaming, you know, watching movies, all that kind of thing, well, that liquid cooling system really does help keep your device nice and cool and running smoothly as it ought to be. The phone may get a little warm, but it's not going to get, you know, like Samsung Galaxy Note 7 hot to where it's like exploding in your pocket or exploding in your face. You know what I'm saying? No diss Samsung. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm just stating facts. That was factual. That did happen. So I'm saying, I mean, the phone, it doesn't get that hot, but it will get a little warm. But that liquid cooling system really seems to just keep it just lukewarm, and that's it. And that's a good thing. Now, we got that boombox speaker down here, which is very loud, and then, you know, when you set it on top of a hollow box or something like that, then it gets even louder. But what people don't realize is this phone has dual speakers. The earpiece right here is a front firing speaker. Now the thing is, I don't even want to say it's not that loud of a speaker, but I think the boombox speaker, it sounds so clear, and even when you have it turned up, there's very little or no distortion at all whatsoever. But the sound is so huge that comes out of that boombox speaker, it just completely drowns out the sound that comes from the earpiece, the ear receiver speaker. But if you put your finger over the bottom firing boombox speaker and then put your ear to the ear receiver, you will hear sound. You will hear like the treble, the clarity. You will hear that. Matter of fact, here, let's try to capture it on video. So look, let's go to YouTube. And matter of fact, I'm just going to queue up the V40 camera video. And let's see if I can capture this sound. No, didn't mean to do that. Let's go full screen. Turn that volume all the way up. And viewing content on this display is just amazing as well. I mean, I feel like this is probably the closest implementation that you can get to the AMOLED Infinity displays on Samsung, because this also is a Quad HD AMOLED display. Okay. Boombox speaker sounds amazing. You guys hear that? Do you guys hear the treble? What you're hearing is coming from the ear receiver. Okay? Now when I take my finger off the boombox speaker, so you see what I'm saying? That boombox speaker, the sound is so huge that comes from it. Okay, put my thumb over it. What you're hearing is the sound from the ear receiver. Okay, see, my thumb is over that speaker on the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna lift my finger. And like I said, I mean, the sound coming from that bottom firing speaker is so big to where it just completely drowns out the ear receiver speaker. Like, for the longest time, I did not realize that this phone had dual stereo speakers. I've even said that in videos that I've done about the LG V40. And it wasn't until recently that I recognized that, wait a minute, that ear receiver is a front-facing speaker. So, I mean, and to me, that just, man, that, you know, people talking about, oh, okay, well, how come they didn't go the dual speaker route and they just put so much emphasis on the boombox speaker? Well, for one, because the boombox speaker sounds damn amazing. And then two, there actually is dual speakers on the LG V40. You know what I mean? So, can't really knock it in that front as well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, the conversation was, oh, well, you know, LG devices 4 gigs of RAM. How come they haven't upgraded to 6 or 8? All the other flagship devices are doing it. Well, hey, well, now we got 6 gigs of RAM on the V40. Oh, well, you know, it doesn't have dual stereo speakers, and all the flagship devices, you know, are coming out with dual speakers. Samsung, they got the dual AKG tuned speakers, and the Google Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL got the front-facing speakers, and the iPhone, you know, 10R, the 10S, and the 10S Max, they all got the dual stereo speakers, and the Razr Phone 2 and the Pocophone F1, you know, it has dual stereo speakers, and what else? The Red Hydrogen 1, it's got dual stereo speakers. How come the LG V40 doesn't have dual stereo speakers? Well, it does have dual stereo speakers, ladies and gentlemen. It does. Okay? So when I say that LG didn't leave no stone unturned, they really went all in on the LG V40. So we do have dual stereo speakers. And so again, like I said, lightning fast fingerprint sensor, facial recognition, always on display, IP68 water and dust resistance, dual stereo speakers, quad HD, beautiful display, lightning fast performance, lightning fast everything, RAM management, build quality. You literally have the total package. And again, I am a huge fan of LG's skin and just their ability to give you, I will always and forever talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, but just the way that they customize everything in the settings and they make it so simple for you. I love this implementation of the settings menu, and I wish that a lot of other devices gave it to us in this particular layout as well. And LG gives you the choice. I mean, you know, if you don't want that layout, then you can hit list view and you can have all your things in a list just like that. But that's the conventional Android way of doing things. Okay? That's the conventional Android way of doing things. You know, I like a switch every now and then. You know, Android, I mean, it's pretty much the same on all devices, you know, except if the phone just comes with its own unique skin. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of times why I don't change the skin, because I like change. You know, I don't want every phone that I have to look exactly the same. You know what I mean? And so I love the fact that on LG's UI, there's just things that are different. You know what I mean? And I really love that. If you feel like the phone is too cumbersome, we do have one-handed mode. I mean, you just simply swipe your hand either to the left or to the right or the left, and you've got your one-handed mode. You know what I mean? So you can have it on the left side of the screen. You know, if you're a lefty, you can have it on the right side of the screen if you're a righty. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't think that there's anything else that LG could have done to make this phone any better. They've implemented everything. Okay, you want to get rid of the notch? We can get rid of the notch under settings. You know what I mean? You can just go to display and new second screen, and there, boom, you get rid of the notch. And the thing that I love about that is if you get rid of the notch, the information is still in the black up there. So you still can see your notification icons, you know, your connection, your battery percentage, you know, your time is over here to the left. I mean, you know, you can customize whether or not you want it, you know, you want the edges to be squared around it so that it matches the round nature of the corners at the top of the device. Me, the notch doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? I mean, so I just rock it like that. I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. But I mean, you've got everything that you need here in the LG V40, ladies and gentlemen. So my overall final thoughts, I mean, you know, who's this phone for? This phone is for anybody that wants a damn good smartphone that it just has everything. It's got everything. You know what I mean? You tell me one thing as far as 2018 flagships that came out that the LG V40 does not have. It's got it all. You know what I mean? And the fact that I was able to get this phone for $580, I paid for my V40 here, you know, what OnePlus is asking for the OnePlus 6T. And let's see, I think the only thing that could be desired is Android 9 Pie. And where we at? Software, where we at? Okay, we're still in Oreo. So, you know, with the exception of the Pi update, I mean, I know it's gonna get it at some point. I just don't know exactly when. I mean, I'm not really tripping over it. I'm not like, okay, well, that's a deal breaker because the phone doesn't have Android 9 Pie. No, I mean, it'll get Pie when it's supposed to get Pie. But I know that for some of you are going to want to know just off top, okay, well, it's a good device and yeah, it's got a lot of stuff going for it, but is it on the latest software? Well, not just yet. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to take place. I mean, so for right now, the LG V40 is still running on Android 8.1 Oreo. All right. Shouldn't be a deal breaker, but hey, to each their own. All right. Again, if you want a really good smartphone, I can highly recommend the LG V40. You know, if you're able to find it at a deal, definitely take advantage of that. If you're the type of person where you're interested in the phone, but you do not want to pay the premium price for it, trust me, I get it. You've got tons and tons and tons of options to go with. I mean, the smartphone world is so saturated, but to one's credit that may be looking for a smartphone, you've got a lot of options. You've got tons of options. Okay, so that's one of the best aspects about, you know, the smartphone game at this particular time. You've got a lot of options at a lot of different price points. If you don't want to spend a boatload of cash, you don't have to. You don't have to. But if you want the best of the best, if you want the cream of the crop, if you want that upper echelon or that upper echelon, however you pronounce it, then LG V40 I highly recommend. I highly recommend. Haven't heard anybody that's had any issues with it. I certainly haven't had any issues with it. Great buy, in my personal opinion. That's all I got for my full pristine review of the LG V40. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, if you will. If you don't like the video, hit that thumbs down. It's okay. You know, I'll take the negative with the positive. Not a problem. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. Definitely stay tuned to Pristine Mobile Tech. It's 2019. A lot of exciting things are coming. I'm going to have a lot of smartphones on this channel this year in 2019. I'm doing it big in 2019, y'all. I'm trying to switch up my whole look. I went and got a new desk, a new computer, a new camera, you know, a couple of new things coming in to really, you know, enhance the overall production and the quality of my videos. Taking this thing seriously, man. Trying to take it up another level. You know what I mean? So I thank you to all of my subscribers that support my channel, you know, everybody locally that support me with this thing, that help me out. Man, much love to you guys. I wouldn't be where I am with this thing today, and I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys, my subscribers. I mean, so much love. All my new subscribers, hey, I appreciate you stumbling across my channel, and if it warranted a subscription, I appreciate the fact that there was something that I delivered to you that warranted you subscribing to my channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the journey. I appreciate your subscription. I'm going to do my absolute best to get my hands on these devices and give you the most information about these devices as I possibly can to help you make an informed decision on what your next smartphone purchase may be. That's what I do this for, and I'm very passionate about it. Okay. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that every time my videos go live, you can be the first to check it out. And get in the comment section. Let me know about what you feel about what you saw. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Any questions, comments, or feedback that you have, even if it's negative feedback. Hey, I'm not a hypersensitive. I do very well with constructive criticism. Okay, let me know what's on your mind in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you or follow up in future videos and answer your questions to the best of my ability. Alright, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. You already know. Please stay safe. Get spiritually fit. It's 2019. Welcome to the new year. We're definitely living in the last days. I'm not trying to scare anyone by saying that, but that's just the reality of the situation. Make sure that you get Christ in your life. God is always ready to start over, no matter where you're at. He will meet you right where you are in your life. Okay? That's just what it is. People make comments about me saying this on the tail end of my video, and I always witness about the one that I believe in, the one that has blessed me with everything that I have. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of my faith. People make comments about it. Oh, well, you know, I came to get information about this phone. I don't want to hear about religion and da-da-da-da-da. Well, hey, you know, YouTube is an open platform to do pretty much anything you want to do. I choose at the end of my videos to witness about the one that makes this all possible. Okay? So just trust and believe and accept him and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives, man. I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is the LG V40. Best phone released in 2018 and still one of the best phones out in 2019. I'm your host, Mr. Pristine. Make sure you guys keep it locked at Pristine Mobile Tech. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.